Sam Darnold, the career resurgence. Is it? Well, the 49ers succumbed to the Minnesota Vikings with Sam Darnold at the helm. What do you think of this one, boys? Because I don't think any of us expected for the 49ers to lose this one. And the Vikings look good, even with Justin Jefferson getting injured during this match. But he's not out. Like, he's not going to be out for any period of time. But he got injured in this match after that night. Well, not long after that 97-yard touchdown catch that he got from Darnold. What do you think of Darnold's performance in this one? 268 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, only sacked 3 times, and had 32 rushing yards on the day. Well, first of all.
I'm ecstatic. I've always been a fan of Sam Darnold. He's jumped around the league, start off with the Jets, then he went to Carolina, then he went to the 49ers to kind of like rehabilitate himself, and now he beats the team that helped sort of build him back up. This was a solid performance. Production, like he was able to move the ball around. Justin Jefferson earning that contract, 133 yards off 4 receptions, meaning explosive plays. You've also got Jalen Naylor over there and Aaron Jones as well, getting in the receiving. I think this was a good game from Sam Darnold across the board. But I also think it speaks more about the 49ers in that they are missing CMC.
So Jordan Mason did have 20 carries for 100 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're going to miss CMC because he's the most dynamic back in the league, right?
Yeah.
But from what I've understood, was a big part of this matchup was actually the Vikings defensively. The front that they put up against Brock Purdy, it posed some challenges for Purdy that he hadn't. It posed some challenges for Purdy that he hadn't seen to date. Yeah. And from a defensive point of view, I think that's as much of a win because the 49ers can dice you up in multiple ways. And if you're able to cause them problems because of how you're able to hide the kind of coverage that you're actually in, then you can gain that confidence and move that towards the rest of the season.
Yeah, like I always say, the tape is now out there. Every team they play is probably going to look at the Minnesota tape and see what they did well. So now it's that point where he's going to be asked to call, like, make decisions on the field. A lot of the times, especially early on in his career, Shanahan was able to control that offense and decide where the ball was going to go. But right now, Brock Purdy's now going to have to be able to like take that next step as a QB. If he's looking for like an extension in his contract, which we know he is, he's going to have to start doing on the line so that you're in the right play. So this is going to be like a road test. It's only going to get harder from here because every team that plays the 49ers is going to bring their A game because they kind of look at the 49ers as a measuring stick. It's going to be interesting to see. They need to find a way to spread that ball out. Deebo went for 110 yards. Brandon Ayuk still hasn't quite got his feet underneath him just yet. He had drop balls in the week before. But I'm not too concerned about the 49ers, but really surprised about Minnesota. Or actually, I should rephrase that. I'm surprised about a Sam Darnold-led Minnesota playing the way it is. The fact that they can win a lot more games.
Okay, I'm going to pose a question. Do we really think that... I think we would have been more surprised if JJ McCarthy had been beating this 49er side rather than Sam Darnold. Because Sam Darnold, not only has he showed glimpses, when he was in that 49er system, when they were able to put him in, but also he was in that 49er system, so
he's played against these defenders.
But it's not that he's played against these defenders. He's played that offensive side, so he's able to feed that into the
defense.
Into the as well.
Oh, okay. The old sit him down on the table. Tell us what you know.
But the irony is Joshua Dobbs is on the 49ers and he was at the Vikings, but it wasn't the same level of depth and knowledge that Sam has had, probably.
Yeah, that is true. But yeah, 2-0 start. 2-0 start.
Well, the funny thing is that the Vikings and the 49ers, they essentially run the same variations of the same offense because Kevin O'Connell, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, they were all on the Washington Commanders staff back in the day when RG3 was a quarterback then. So they are all running variations of the same offense. When they meet each other, the games are usually very close and it's usually separated by a couple of points. So I was surprised the Vikings was able to win.
Did you hear what Purdy said at the end of that game to is it Flores?
No.
He was like, "Man, the fronts you put out, like, I think they confused him in certain, like, they got the better of him at certain times because they're showing something."
Yeah,
they're showing something, and it's something completely different to what they were showing. Like,
absolutely,
they kind of bamboozled him a little bit at times.
Absolutely. I mean, I think Brian Flores is one of the best defensive coordinators in the league, and he should be a head coach right now. But obviously, because of all the issues that he's had going on with the league and everything, that's why he hasn't had the opportunity. But he should still be an NFL head coach because his defensive game plans are usually very solid. He's one of the best at creating troubled game plans for offense. But Sam Darnold has had a resurgence, but I'm still not all buy-in yet.
It's a resurgence considering his career path to this date, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it goes to show that sometimes as a quarterback, when you get drafted into the league, if you're not immensely talented, where you go is a big part, and it matters a lot. You know, and I
he went into the Jets situation, and it's just like we know the problems that the Jets have had at quarterback, and then you go into the Panthers, and we know what the Panthers situation has been at quarterback. So it's really good for him. And the thing is, if he keeps having a good go at this, he could actually get that number one spot. Yeah, they've drafted a quarterback, but if he keeps winning, the best thing is availability, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I know, but okay, so he might get a Jordan Love treatment at some point because eventually JJ's gotta play. You don't take a QB number one and not let him play even if it's 3 years down the line.
It's a hard one for Sam because he wants to settle,
but he could earn a contract somewhere.
Like he could earn a contract somewhere, but it's basically like he's just got to play. But the situation in that other team
might not be good.
Might not be good, so he could end up going back to normal.
It's a circle.
It's kind of like a circle. He wants to find an organization that's gonna be right for him, and I think the 49ers are very good, but they had Purdy. The Vikings are also, so far it seems good, but they've already drafted your heir apparent, and he's got to play it sometime. Unless something insane happens in camp where it's like, yeah, Sam Darnold is our guy.
Or the thing is, the thing is,
gonna go with that.
Also, he's had a resurgence. We've seen glimpses of him becoming better. It's just whether he's able to keep at it and keep that consistency. Yeah. So if he's able to keep the consistency, then the questions will begin to be asked. Like, okay,
it's a question worth asking. Just because you acquire a guy, I think the best coaches. Like, if we go way back in time, I remember Matt Flynn had an amazing game for Green Bay. I think he scored like 5 touchdowns and threw for just under 400 plus yards. Everyone was enamored. They were like, he sat behind Aaron Rodgers. He's the guy. Seahawks bring him in. They draft someone called Russell Wilson in the 3rd round. Russell Wilson beats him in practice, in training camp, gets the starting job. They paid Matt Flynn a lot of money, but he never saw the field. So it takes a team like that, obviously in reverse, to sort of make that decision. Like we drafted. I mean, it's not going to happen because we haven't had a chance to see
JJ at all.
JJ actually truly play, but so they will give him that chance. But it's just one of those situations where I think the best teams find a way to make like the ultimate meritocracy in that the best person plays regardless of how much we paid. Like my Eagles have done it. Perfect example. you've got a guy on that team.
Drew Lock.
Drew Lock, yeah. So at that point, I'd be like, look, we're not winning. It doesn't matter how much we paid him. We need to evaluate the team. So I wish Sam all the best. I'm happy for him, and it'll be really good. I think Minnesota are definitely a threat with a 2-0 start. They're only going to get better as the season goes on.
And the thing is, they didn't have that wide receiver too. So in this game, they lost their wide receiver 1 in the game, and that wide receiver 2 didn't even play like Jordan Anderson didn't play at all. So it can only get better, and TJ Hawkinson's not even there.
That's true.
So the 3 biggest. So he lost his biggest one, and the next 2 biggest pass catchers on that team are not even playing. So actually, things can improve even further for the Vikings. Obviously, you can't improve on a perfect win-loss record, but you can improve in terms of the gameplay itself. So yeah, let's see how Sam Darnold manages to do with all the other skill players coming back to him as we go through this season.